everyone. Welcome to Eyes Closed with Dollskin. What's up, guys? Hello. So the first thing I have to dive in is you posted on your Instagram a picture of you in a fabulous wetsuit.
Oh.
I knew you didn't want to talk about it, but I mean, we're having questions. So
That's the whole point of an interview. We were walking through a gas station, and God, it was Alex that pointed it out and saw it and was like, that's all of our hair colors or whatever. Like, we should wear it on stage. Cause
we're like, oh, haha, funny. And then we're like, what if we did? And we did. We spent too much money on wetsuits and wore them on stage.
Okay, so Creeper told us about this story about how they went on tour with this other band, and the very first day they got really drunk and dressed up as Kiss. And just showed up dressed up as Kiss.
That was the first time I met them.
But yeah. And so when we saw the wetsuits, like, we saw an opportunity and we had to take it.
that's so funny because I think most people think that they were like custom made for you because of the colors.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, at least.
Children's wetsuits at a gas station.
Yeah.
We were stopping to pee, and then we saw them, and we're just
Yeah, we each
had to do it. We had to do it.
We each had to get the biggest size possible because they're children's wetsuits. They were very small.
It still did not fit me quite right. It was just not good, but what are you going to do?
But I'm glad we cleared that up. I think a lot of fans have been wondering what's up with that.
We just kind of did it, let it happen, and then just, like, didn't talk about it. And people were like, okay, never mind.
I didn't address it at all.
Yeah.
I literally said don't ask about the outfits. In the caption I said don't ask about the outfits.
Yeah. Even on stage, I was like, it's just how it is today. We don't normally do this, but we're just wearing them. So enjoy.
That's how it is today.
Yeah.
No further questions asked. So it's your second time in Europe, and is it true it's your second time playing with Creeper as well?
It is.
Technically.
Yeah. We played with them last summer on Warped Tour, and we met them there, and the whole time we were just like, we have to do shows with you guys again. And so they invited us back out to do the three, like, warm-up shows for reading and leads. We were like, of course, we're coming out. So here we are. Here we are because of Creeper. Thank you, Creeper.
Any stories to tell from the past couple of days?
I have some tea.
So, Sean, the bass player, he was wearing these black overalls, like before he changes to his uniform, he has these black overalls. I'm like, hey, I like your overalls. And he's just like, do you want to try them on? I'm like,
Yeah. So yeah.
Sean's, like,
Yeah.
tall. He's
Yeah,
a
he's
a large guy.
Yeah, he's very tall.
3 feet tall.
3 feet exact.
3.5 feet tall.
Yeah. So he's just like here, and he just like takes them off and hands them to me. I'm like, okay. So I just like put them on over my clothes, and he's like, here's an idea. How about you get on the couch and then you jump into them? And I'm like, all right. So I'm holding on to Will and Sean. Will's the lead singer, and I jump barefoot into these overalls, and that's my story.
And it did work quite well.
Yeah.
Megan did nail it.
Yeah. And also Sean played Punch a Nazi with us on the last night of tour. We love Sean. Sean's a
Our sweet loves.
Yes,
We just love Creeper.
we love all of them.
They're like our male and also female counterparts. They're just such fun people.
We
love
just really
them.
enjoy their sense of humor quite a bit.
Yeah, it's very similar to ours, so it works.
Did you kind of learn anything from the previous record that you released in terms of how you're going to approach this next one?
I think we're a lot more like decisive about what we want going into it versus last album. We were just kind of went in with an open mind to the studio where it was like we had ideas for the songs, but we weren't very like strong in what we wanted.
Put it into the hands
Yeah.
of our producer.
Versus this time, I think we're all going to be a lot more like hands in and very like this is how we want it. This is exact, kind of thing. We're just going to be
We're a lot more sure of ourselves.
yeah, more sure of ourselves for sure.
And how do your musical ideas kind of come to you? Like, do you get together and jam, and then kind of come up with stuff, or do you write individual parts?
I feel like as time goes on, we all kind of like start listening to different music, and then we're like, oh, hey, this is a cool sound. Like, let's try to do this or try to do that on the next album or this on the next album. And we kind of like bounce the ideas off of each other until we finally start writing. And we're like, oh, hey, like, let's try that thing you talked about, or like, let's try this thing that sounded like this other thing or whatever. Like, I don't know. I feel like just as time goes on, we throw out ideas and then we bounce them off of each other, and then we decide that if it would be cool or not. So, yeah.
Are you the kind of band that like writes 30 songs and then like 12 make it onto the album? Or?
Yeah, I wish we could just
go,
crap out music, but
no. Less of 30 songs, more like we wrote 15 songs and 12 make it or something. I don't know.
yeah, we we really spend a lot of time on each one. We all put like equal suggestions in and make sure. Yeah, it's a very collaborative thing. You know, it's not like just someone writes something and we all do. So yeah. Team effort.
The only time we ever did do that was with Blind, when I wrote Blind, and then we were like, Blind and Sweet Pea, like, I kind of wrote them acoustically, and then we made them electric, and that was the only time, like, there was ever one person that, like, wrote this whole structure and lyrics of everything, and then we changed it. But other than that, it's, like, completely collaborative. Like,
I think that's been a big shift in, like, what we wrote recently, where it'd be, like, I don't know, somebody would write something, and then we would all have, like, input about it, versus, like, everybody was just writing their own parts before, and, like, that was it. Versus now it's, like, everybody's writing their own parts, and then everybody's has a say about it kind of thing. So, like, we're all, I don't know. That's just, I feel like, has been kind of a shift, kind of. Yeah.
So you're obviously very good friends. You're a tight-knit team. You mentioned that that, like, when things kind of, like, go wrong on stage, that you're quite good at, like, hiding it and, like, kind of, like, glossing over mistakes. But be honest, is there one time, or has there been one time that things just, like, you just had a terrible, like, fail?
The first time I ever played in front of my partner, they came to our Tucson show. And, and I was like, oh, I'm going to do a really cool, like, I'm going to run across the stage. And I tripped across cables, fell so hard that I fell into Alex's guitar. It left a 6-string bruise on my shoulder. And, oh my God, it was so painful. And it was one of the worst falls I've ever had in my entire life. In front of Tatiana, so.
It was like, we were on tour, and it was, like, the end of a tour, and, like, our significant others were there, and maybe, like, 5 other people. So it was all around a pretty embarrassing show. It was so bad. We're like, hell yeah, hometown show. We're like, nobody's here. Yeah, it was embarrassing all around.
Do you remember that one time?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you remember? It was, like, the most technical problems, like, in the whole world.
We had just gotten back from Europe, and I think something about the voltage changes. Some little voltage gremlin stayed in my setup, and just my whole rig was near on fire. So I was trying to deal with that, and then I'm like running off the stage. I have these new boots on, and I fall so hard, and it was on a big screen, like this huge fucking screen. I just remember my mom trying to talk to me, and I was like, Mom, fuck off. And I apologized to her so much that night, because I literally told my mom to fuck off. I was so upset.
I just remember being like, I could cry for you.
It was a family show, and I took my shirt off.
Oh.
I stood on things that I wasn't supposed to stand on. We got in a lot of trouble.
In the contract that nobody said to us, it said on the contract, you cannot climb
Or strip or swear, and you did all 3.
So he did all of that, so, but we didn't know. We did not know. Nobody told us.
Because it was
to be
for, like,
fair.
the, like, heavier, like, station in Arizona.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of assumed.
Like,
Be vulgar.
Headliner, and we're like, whatever.
Yeah.
We can do what we want. Apparently you can't.
Apparently you're not allowed to do anything. So,
Well,
yeah.
noted
I
for
walked
next
off
time.
stage, and he was like, can you put your shirt back on? And I'm like,
Why? Why not? Why do I have to? They were like,
because my titties were out, basically.
So in terms of hairstyles, which one of you would be, like, the weirdest hair swaps? I'm sure you've, like, done, like, face swaps and stuff. Like, what would be the weirdest?
If we swapped hair, like, would that look
I
weird?
was thinking Megan and I.
no,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of Alex with a green bob and orange bangs, and I just
But
don't know if
sitting
I
with,
can.
like, shoulder-length blue hair, that'd be cute.
Nicole
That'd be
and
alright.
Alex,
I guys,
yeah.
I think it's like
Because
it's
Nicole
the
with long
length
hair?
thing.
yeah,
It's the length thing.
no, yeah. If I had long hair, no bangs, it wouldn't be right.
Okay.
So okay.
And then if you had a short
Me
pink
with
bob,
pink hair would
take your glasses off, Alex.
it.
This is why I deleted Snapchat.
My glasses, my whole thing.
Are we smiling? Ew.
Oh.
Wait, what the hell? That's worse.
Wait, which one of you stuck your tongue out?
Alex did.
Alex!
Do you see that? Can you send me that? It's just outrageous. That was exciting. That was a lot. Which one of you is most likely to run out of clean clothes first on tour?
Okay, Alex, because she currently has no socks.
I'm not out of socks. I'm, like, uncomfortably low on socks.
Who's most likely to survive without social media?
I fucking hate social media.
Yeah, Alex.
So, I like Instagram, but it drives me insane more often than not. So, I don't know. Yeah, I yell about social media a lot, I guess. I guess.
I feel you.
I don't know.
When I get Wi-Fi, like, since I'm not on it all day, like, I don't know, like, I would... I'm not on my phone much because I have games. I do have games.
Social media.
That's not social media.
Those are good.
I have so many games that I play. I play so many games.
Who's most likely to get food envy?
I love food so much.
Megan's a self-proclaimed foodie. Yeah, Megan is the biggest foodie of our band.
I call myself a foodie. Isn't that dumb?
Just own it.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's just because me and my boyfriend, we're very adventurous eaters. But then the girls are just like, you should go veggie. So I've been practicing vegetarianism. So I've been doing I think I've been doing the best this month than any other month. So
Congrats, Megan.
yay.
That's what we'd like.
But I also like lots of crazy food. So my grandma makes a lot of Polish food. So she makes like sauerkraut and like all this sausage, and it's so freaking good. And also like whenever I go to like a Japanese restaurant, I'll get like squid or something like that. Like, squid.
You also like really spicy food.
Oh, spicy! I love.
This chick. Megan can do like an ungodly amount of spice.
I had one time. I was at a Mexican restaurant. They're like, "Do you want to try the ghost pepper sauce?" And I said, "Hell yeah!" So I tried it, and it was painful, and I loved it. I think the spiciest thing I ever had in the world was a couple days ago. I went to freaking Five Guys. I got like a grilled cheese sandwich, and I told him to put jalapenos on it, just like not an ungodly amount, but you know, some. And they were the spiciest freaking peppers I've ever had. And I'm like, in UK? I was like, what's going on at a Five Guys?
Just a final question to wrap up this interview. So imagine it's 50 years from now. Dollskin have retired from their incredible career of playing arena shows all over the world, all over the planet. What do you want people to remember Dollskin by? Like, oh yeah, they're the band that
Fill the blank.
That filled the blank.
That filled the blank. We filled the blank.
I actually like that.
Being known as a girl band is a blessing and a curse. I want to completely abolish that term because it's not a girl band. We're a band that happens to be all female. You don't hear, oh, it's an all male band. I mean, I don't know. I'm not quite sure how to word that, but yeah, I would like to be the group that really makes an impact with getting rid of that term, or at least putting a much better spin on it. Something along those lines. You get it.
It'd be cool for us to be the band that normalizes girls being in bands. So it's not like, oh, it's a girl guitarist or girl bassist.
Or,
It's
like,
just
what
a
if it's-
bassist.
What if we like make it to the point where it's like it becomes a shocker that it's an all one gender band or something? Because it's like, oh my god, it's all the same gender or whatever instead of mixed whatever. Like,
And then it's not all boy bands. Haha.
I feel like in that, what do you say, 50 year span career, I would do something very embarrassing that would get extreme amounts of attention. And they'd be like, do you know the band Dollskin with the drummer? They did something, fill in the blank, super embarrassing.
That's a good one too.
And so that's what I think I'm going to get remembered by.
I would just like to do really outrageous things on stage. Not like stupid, but like, yeah. I've all of a sudden gotten into just like taking off my clothes. All of a sudden, like really randomly.
Last night at a gas station.
Yeah, just I mean, like been there, done that. Like the '80s happened, so I don't know. I'm not first in line for that, but like something just really freaking weird.
I feel like the shock factor just doesn't exist much anymore. I feel like I don't know. So
Like squeeze me
on
On
stage.
stage.
Yeah.
Ay. Has this happened before?
Which one of us is going to be performing while that pregnant?
Any other ideas? Any closing statements?
Trying to give everybody a puppy.
Yeah. Do you want to say
We
anything
have
else?
some big news coming, I guess.
Ay. Okay.
Two big newses that we can't announce. Yeah, I'm so sorry, but they're absolutely probably the biggest things we've ever had to announce ever. So that's we'll tell you after the interview is done.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, world.
Off the record.
But yeah, we have an Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify.
Places. We have fun merch that we're putting up on our website after our Europe UK run is over, and it's cute.
Aliens in Alaska, they're real. Check it out, everyone. Go watch The Fourth Kind.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't get the reference if it is one, but I do believe in aliens.
And we need to watch that as a group.
No, we do not.
Oh, I think it is a possibility because how are we alone in this universe? I don't think so.
You're not
I
alone
don't
in
think
this
so.
We've been visited before, and there's definitely no way you can prove otherwise.
That's like bottom line. That's it. That's it. Ladies, it's been wonderful. Have a great show. And enjoy London. Yay! Bye guys. See ya.